Hey, good morning, everyone. How we doing? I want to say thank you, everybody, for being here on our new start time, 7:30 Eastern. Good morning to everybody. Hey, Thomas, Jim, Julie, good morning. Donna, good morning. Bill, Roger, Tommy, Gold up there. Nancy, good morning. Sonny, good morning, everybody. Hey, Coach, good morning. Rally, good morning. Thomas, Jim, I may have already said good morning to you guys, but never says never heard say good morning twice. Okay, man, I got to tell you, I can tell it's earlier. I can definitely tell it's earlier. I'm gonna have to wake up earlier just to grab another cup of coffee, I think. All righty. Here, let's do this real quick. Today, Wednesday, we've got the EIA petroleum number. I don't think that's going to be a biggie for the market at all. I really don't. Tomorrow, I guess we've got the jobless claims PPI number. Some people take that stuff real serious, so that could rattle the market up, down. Who knows? Um, yeah, who knows? Hey, good morning, Daryl. How you doing? Hey, Sharon. Good morning. Glad to have you here. Okay. All right, everybody. Wow. Again, thank you so much for being here so early in the morning. And um, also remember anybody that, is listening, or for those that pick up the recording will be made available just shortly after we finish here. It doesn't take me long to put a little bow around it, basically, and then get it out there. And you can pick it up in all of our social media networks and on YouTube as well. Okay, so it'll all be out there. Hey, good morning, Rick. How are you? All right. Look, I don't know about everybody here. I don't know about everybody here, but I got to tell you, I think yesterday was a fantastic trading day in the market. Um, and it's kind of looking like, sorry, there you go. I was fixing a screen here. Um, and it's kind of looking like today might be the same as well. So a lot of positions that you may have gotten in that looks like they're going to climb higher. Here's some. Let me cover a couple that I bought. SOFI, we're in SOFI already, making great money yesterday, and here it is popping right up to one of our target zones up here. So um, I'll decide whether this is where we're going to take profits or not, throughout the day. It's way too early to make that decision in there. Um, Oklo is another one. Bought some Oklo yesterday, and it looks like it's holding well this morning. So looking for that to move up about that 85 area, somewhere in there. Um, what else are we looking? Oh, Bank of America, that's looking really good. Bought that yesterday, so we're going to be, in good green money right in that one. Right away, it looks like this morning. So still a bit before the market opens up. So a lot of things can change. A lot of things can change. So um, I want to take a look at a chart that um, right from the get go here that I think, and then we'll look at Tesla because I also plan on buying Tesla. But I want to talk about the CNC. Um, when I first started trading, it was hit and miss. Mostly it was hit and miss and miss and miss and hit and miss and miss and miss and miss. And it was a couple years before um, what we call the pinball setup uh, was created, developed, whatever you want to call it. But what it was in my desperation to be a stock trader, to actually be successful at it, to actually not punch a clock and work. I would rather work at trading. Um, like saying in desperation, it was true desperation that I created the whole pinball um, style of trading. And um, this is the setup that went that put me in a position where I could trade for a living. And I'm going to put the 34 EMA up here real quick. And I think this chart is setting up this way and more. Okay. So it's, charts coming off the bottom. Now, I don't like the bottom pick. And the way I get around that, some may say it's a very fine line. You're right. It might be. But this is what I'm looking for. And this is about the same time the T line was actually developed as well. And the T line is just the 8 EMA. So what we've got is, let me grab my tool here. We've got this big gap down and then just down like this. Well, all of a sudden about right here, you can see this is starting to bottom out right there. But more importantly, you see us popping up over the T line there, or the 8 EMA. See that right there? This is setting up for what we call a pinball setup. Now, the pinball setup originally, and still is, the target is the 34 EMA right there. That's that orange line. That's the target. Well, already we're looking at 21% up there. So from here to that 34 EMA might be a target for some folks, certainly going to be a target for me. Now, another target that I use a lot is the 50 period moving average. Now, I've also kind of cheated on this one. I've put up our good grief, it's early in the morning. Our retracement lines here. And I kind of cheated and just moved this where I wanted to, because I wanted it right there about the 50 period moving average. We can, if we put it up here, right there at that top, and that makes sense to me as well, we can put another target right in there. The point is, from where we are now up into that 50 period moving average, that's a 50% trade. I can tell you now that I'm going to look at buying over 100 days out, and manage this chart. I would very much like it to move up into this area here. If that happens, that's a pretty penny one can make. Okay, so I'm just sharing this chart. I think this is a good chart. I think this is something that a lot of people can make a lot of money on. Well, I just wanted to share that with everybody. So this is going to be my plans for CNC. Now, do keep in mind that the chart is not going to go straight up just because you buy it. All right, it's just not going to do that. Here you're going to see some pullback. We may scoot right on up, and then it's going to scare you to death. It's going to pull back. Nobody has to buy it and hold it forever. You could trade it. You could do what you want. Just pointing out this chart. I also want to remind everybody, you must trade your rules, okay? Have your rules. Do your work, your due diligence into a chart, and always protect yourself with a stop, and don't let it go south. And speaking of stops, right from the get-go, it's really, it's a very low-risk stock, 4 or 5%. So buying somewhere in this area here. And if we get below the lows over here, like I say, 4 or 5% risk. So anyway, this is a chart that I'm seriously looking at, like seriously, like guaranteed kind of thing I'm going to be buying here. So, all right, let's take a look at Tesla real quick, because that's another one, Tesla. So Tesla here is getting close to being bought. And I'm going to buy both Tesla and TSLL. And the Tesla will be bought in the larger account, and TSLL will be bought in the smaller account. So what we've got here with Tesla, let me grab my arrow. There we go. We've got this nice run up, and we've got the pullback of 3 days ago. We've got that wick there, and now we have 2 days of rest in here. So I would like to have more rest. I would certainly like to catch this before it breaks out. But if it breaks out, the world's not coming to an end. Remember, all charts that move come back. All charts. This is important. So here we are up. If you miss this move, don't worry about it. If it moves up, it will come back. I would like it, however, to rest here a little bit longer, and then I want to buy it, and then we'll see it move up. There's another way to play this too. Don't be so doggone fickle or picky about the entry. I mean, maybe I haven't said this in quite a while now that I think about it. It's not the entries that make you money. A lot of people seem to think that. So people seem to think, well, I can't buy it till it moves down here to 333.90. And I just want to scream, why? Why? Because at the end of the day, this is what you want to happen. So what do you care if you buy it down low? That's just something to think about. I mean, what do you care if you buy it down here if that's what it does? I mean, are we so damn greedy? Are our cheeks so dang pinched together tight that we've got to squeeze every penny out of it? Just something to think about, okay? So with that said, like I say, I'm looking to buy Tesla. My target's going to be up here around 370, 380, then somewhere around 400, 410, as long as the chart continues in its trend. Here's TSLL that I will be looking to buy in the smaller account. That's just now over the 50-period moving average. Price T-line trend indicator, just over that. We're entering what we call a rounded bottom breakout setup. We'll talk more about that in the trading room today. So first target or first big challenge will be to get over the dotted deuce right here. That's the red line. The next challenge will be to make it to the 200-period moving average, and then of course break out. If I had a golden target, if I had a target that would just excite me to no end for a couple of different reasons, would be right here at the 22 area. That right there would be my sweet spot for a target. In fact, as I plan the trade, my plan will look like this. That's all my plan is going to be is in this area, not up here, not right here, but all through there. That's going to be the trade that I'm looking for. Now, keep in mind that at any given time, that thing can go south. Okay, we could get some bad numbers. Heck, there could be a lot of things happen in the world that could push the market down a little bit. All right. Now, speaking of market, let's take a look at the market. T2123. This is, I use TC2000, by the way, and this is a indicator on TC2000. I don't think it is anywhere else. It's the 4-week new high-low ratio is what it is. I watch it on the hourly chart, and you know what? I'm going to put it up here and make this out. Oh, it is hourly. There we go. And this is the way I try. You know, I don't always get it right. Mainly, it's my and it's never the fault of the market. It's never the fault of the chart. It's always my fault. Is when we see red dots, pump the brakes on long trades. Just pump the brakes a little bit. When you see these green dot, whoops, wrong thing here. There we go. When you see these green dots like that, that's the time to be bullish. Generally, when we see the red dots, it's time to be bearish. This past several days, it wasn't great to be bearish. The market was still holding very, very strong, even though we were being pushed down on this T2123 indicator here. So it was, you know, like I say, we didn't go crazy shorts, had some shorts on, covered all those. Now we're turning green. I think we're headed back to the bullish side now. And then, of course, you can see that in the market itself. There we go. You can see that in the market itself. Price above the T line above the trend indicator. Okay, so looks to me like the bulls are back. Let me get rid of this 34 EMA there. There we go. All right, so right now we've broken out. Looks like we're challenging that 644 area that we have as a target. We're challenging it pre-market. If we can manage to remain bullish, that's one of the key things we have to, remain to the bullish side here. We can't be crashing on the market. We can pull back. That's perfectly fine. Then our next target up here is going to be 648 to 650 up there. Qs are acting very good, and they look to me like they're headed to that 585 area. Very nice breakout yesterday. So far this morning, it's holding up, okay? If we take a look at the transports, wow. Transports have gone from something very ugly to a low, high, higher low to a higher high yesterday, and it looks like we're going to try to take out that downtrend line. So we may have the transports on our coming up here. Now, let's take a look at SMH. SMH. SMH is firing off. Look, you can have the transports down, and SMH can lead us into bullish territory. You can have SMH down, and the transports can lead us into bullish territory. When you have SMH and the transports down, you pretty much have a bearish market. When you have them both up, you pretty much have a bullish market. So until further notice, until something drastically changes, the bulls are most definitely in charge here. Most definitely. Okay. Hey, Robert, how are you? Well, so let's see, QBTS. Let's take a look at QBS. QBTS is one that Daryl is watching. Take a look at that chart. Beautiful. I have a target up here of between 19.50 and $20. I'm revamping my target maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get rid of this and let's redo this. There we go. So I'm going to pull this down right here. My first target is going to be about this 19 area. I'm going to pull this down. We're going to look at 1950, and then we're going to put that right there. Get rid of that blue line. There we go. So right now, the targets that I'm going to be looking at are around 1950, between, we'll call it 2050. And then we can do this as well. If this higher line, I think, is also a great target up there at 21. So nice chart. Thank you very much, Daryl. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's take a look at a couple other charts. PDD. For those, I'm pretty sure that we have several members of Hit Run Candlesticks that are holding PDD. Right now, I would watch that top, maybe be a little bit of a profit taker. When this pulls back or rests, I think PDD is going to be an excellent chart for a continued move higher up here. So PDD is definitely on. I'm not in it, and just waiting for that pullback for that setup. Okay. Hey, Ed. Good morning. Microsoft. Take a look at the 3-8 trap. Yeah, beautiful 3-8 trap on Microsoft. Just a quick, if somebody doesn't know what a 3-8 trap is, it's simply price that's trapped between the 3 EMA, that's that green line, and the black line, which is the 8 EMA. So we've got that. Let me show you that. This is my favorite trade, okay? Um, when a stock moves up, and it doesn't have to be a gap, it could just be a strong move up and then back down. And for that matter, forget about that candle. Look, just look at that strong move up and see how we pulled back, we stabilized, and then in this particular, sometimes it doesn't come all the way down to 17. Sometimes it just stops right there at the 8 EMA. And now here we're setting up. You got a pair of dojis, great candle yesterday. In fact, kind of a morning star sort of kind of thing. And now we're right there in that 3-8 trap. What a great entry. One of the reasons this is a great entry, it's a great risk reward chart, because for me, if I like it because it's between the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA, I'm going to love it when it goes higher, and I'm going to hate it if it goes lower than that 8 EMA. So that becomes a stop point. I mean, when you think about it, if it fails and comes below that stop point, does that look like a chart you would buy? And I think not. So that makes for a stop point. And the upside, we're always going to look at retesting that high up there. So, I mean, we probably should do this too. We'll put a line right there. But ultimately, that's what we're going to look at, retesting that high and then possibly the breakout. So Microsoft, beautiful 3-8 trap setup right now. Hey, William, AIQ, nice. Let's put a line right there. Here we broke out. The trend is working. Here's some rules that I think are worth writing down. And let me get my pen out. We want the market, and this is for the SPY, and this is for the Qs. Okay. We want the market on our side. We want it to be bullish. Well, just a few minutes ago, we talked about that. SPY is bullish, Qs are bullish, everything is working. So on the backside, very bullish. Now, if we take a look at the chart, we've got price above the T line above the trend indicator. You've got trend, if you want to draw, a trend line like that, which that's not what I do. I don't draw trend lines like that. I'm going to come down to some point and I use the green dots. That's my trading trend. So my likely place on this chart would be come down to this area right here. And then I'm going to draw a line right to the very last candle. I don't care about the candles in the middle. I'm going to go right to that very last candle. There we go. Like that. So there's trend. There's the trade. And this is setting up very, very nice, William. Thank you very much. So we've got a 3-8 trap. We're looking at that breakout here. So now we're looking at higher numbers. Beautiful chart. Very beautiful chart. Let's do this. Let's take this low. We'll come up to the high, I guess. That the gaps in there kind of making things a little bit wacko for drawing any kind of targets up there. But if we get through this area, that's my main area, and where the lines look a little thicker right there, that's my sweet spot on everything I look at when it would do that. This would be the next target, approximately that area, and then up here around 46. Beautiful chart. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. Good morning over there. Hey, Neil, how are you? Let's take a look at Walmart. Walmart's my favorite. I love Walmart. Here's Walmart. Okay, I've been waiting for it to pull back. So here, I mentioned this a little earlier. If you think it's going to move higher, how much of a weenie do you have to be? How cheap do you want to get it? And it is truly funny. Traders, it's hilarious. If you ever sit and talk to traders, They will, and this is human nature too. Every human being, they spend money on the dumbest ass stuff I've ever seen in my life. But when you become a trader, your butt cheeks tighten up so tight it's not even funny. I don't get it. I really don't. Um, oh man, I'm gonna wait till it gets down here to 102.84, and that's a whole 0.3% down there. But jeepers creepers, you know, on other things, you'll go waste money like crazy. And this is true with all traders. I've seen it happen so many times. So my point is, Rick, stop waiting for it to pull back. Quit being such a squeaky butt here. So I am going to look to start buying some Walmart here. We get through this area right there, and this is my fifth, what I could just my 50% area. When we get through that, then I think we're going to go up to 107. So we need to attack this first, which we already have, and I think that's fantastic. We attacked it. We pulled back a little bit, but we haven't broken down. So I think the next move is going to be, now, when I say next move, I don't mean like, today. I mean, it could be today, but price is going to have to wave down some buyers and then pop us up here. T-line would be my stop area down there. So that's about 1% away. So I think Walmart setting up very nice. Thank you very much, Ed, for pointing that out. Appreciate it. Hey, Neil, Meta. Thank you. Meta, rocking. Meta is rocking. There's only one downside to Meta, and that's that it costs $792 a share. That's crazy. That's expensive. We're going to go look at a fix for that, though. I'm looking at Meta. The next target up for me is going to be 103. We'll call it 104. I'm sorry, 804. 804, followed by, where to go? There it is. About 115 up there. I'm going to move this over. There we go. So Meta's doing great. We've got this big gap. Here's a pullback. This chart pattern here is what we call a gap and trap, where a chart, let's see here, where a chart gaps up. And, it gaps. When a chart gaps up, it means that there's something going on, that the buyers really like it. They want it. They come barreling into the chart and then gap it up. And here we gap up. And not every time do you get right away consolidation. That is what we got with Meta. And look how it pulled right back into that 3-8 trap. Gap and trap. Easy chart to scan for, gap and trap. And now we start looking for buy signals in that 3-8 trap. And, Meta's giving them to us. Hand over fist here. Beautiful trade moving up to the upside. Like I said, the only downside is the price, $792. Look, for some traders, that's a walk in the park. That's folding money. For other traders, you laugh at it. Well, if you're the ones that laugh at it, take a look at FBL, the single stock ETF. Same thing. $50 up here. Might be more affordable for you. Target, $52. My next target, whoops, there we go, is going to be up here, a little above 53, maybe a little below 54. And then we'll put one more in there. There we go. About that 55 on the FBL. So that's a great answer to, I really want to buy Meta, because it's stocks like Meta that make money. I mean, Meta's working right now. The whole AI tech that's working. So, but some of them you can't get into because of cost. But there are answers to that. All righty. Let's take a look at AMD. AMD, we've had these targets up on AMD for some time now. It's starting to look like we're going to get that 190 now. I like that. See how we've rallied up, and here we've pulled back. We've got 3-8 trap yesterday, day before. We've got a 3-8 trap breakout going on today, this morning, pre-market. headed right up there, that 190 area or 189 in that green area. From there, I'm going to be looking just under 210 for the next level of that. Roger, thank you. Roger is saying that Walmart has earnings on the 21st. Yes, so just a little bit away earnings. So those that don't trade earnings, you might want to stay away from it. Those that don't care, well, you trade what you like. Fix. Let's go look at Fix. Look at Fix. Beautiful chart. Excellent chart. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. There we go. Look at that chart. Gap 3-8 trap. This is a great chart pattern, by the way, folks. Is gap 3-8 trap. Gap. That's the excitement. This is, buyers did this. Stocks just don't gap up because of a whim. I mean, this is institutional buying. This is not me or Mr. Bojangles or anybody. I mean, this is institutional buying. And now we get this rest. We rest right in here. Beautiful 3-8 trap. Now, yesterday was a 3-8 trap breakout. Looks like we're headed that way today. Great momentum. Terrific looking chart. Thanks, Neil. Nice. ASML. Take a look. Rally. I don't know if you're in it or if you're looking to buy it. Whatever I would do would be pump the brakes on it right now. It's coming off the bottom. It's looking great, but I don't think buying it here is the best idea. But then, there's some things I don't know. Are you going to hold it for a year, 6 months, a long time, or are you looking to trade it? And here's why I'm a little bit concerned. This chart has been up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We've got a gap there and a gap there. And right, wrong, or indifference, I count a gap as a day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days this has been up. I don't think that's the smart time to buy. Maybe on that pullback, perhaps. And if it doesn't pull back, if it does continue up, if it does crawl itself up, that's great, but I wouldn't touch it till it gets above the 50-period moving average and stabilizes. So needs to pull back for me or crawl yourself up and stabilize above the 50 there. So I love the way it's moved up to the 50. It's just not in good buy position, if you ask me. So, hey, Bal. How come you are early today? We're going to be early tomorrow, too. I just opened up the computer to a surprise. We've been announcing it for a little bit, but yeah, the new time is 7:30 Eastern, 7:30 Eastern, and it allows me to go a little longer. Like right now, we've been going for 30 minutes. I don't have to be in such a rush. But anyway, yeah, our new time is 7:30 Eastern. So, and for those that can't make it, but those that are not here, I guess you can pick it up on the recording, and the recording will be made available, I don't know, within 15 minutes after I close down. Okay. So let's see here. What else do we have? Let's go check, and then we'll call it a morning here. So it looks like the market is still holding up pretty well. And if we can stabilize up through here and hold, we might see a little bit of a pullback, maybe not today necessarily, but before we move to that 650 area, we may see that a little bit. Let me run through. Let's see. Let me run through a quick scan here and see if there's anything popping up. I'm gonna look at my favorites. GGLL, I've made a lot of money on this. I kicked myself for getting out of it. But this is a great one if you ever want to play Google and you want a better price. Right now, I think it's a little bit high. A little bit of a rest would do it well. Meta's coming up on my scan. Reddit, we're getting a little pullback. It's not viable. SOFI, I'm already in. These are what's coming up on my scan here. SOFI is looking great. We ended yesterday nice and green. Looks like we're up today. That ETHA, too high to be buying. Still holding bull. How many people are holding bull? BULL. Still holding that. That's looking pretty good today. We're in that 3-8 trap. I'm looking forward to that one taking off. Hey, thank you, Anita. Thank you. Thanks for being here, by the way. Appreciate it. Let's see. TSM. Here's TSM here. That's setting up. RGTI had earnings yesterday. We bought this going into earnings, and looks like we're holding up pretty well. So maybe we get that move up here. Yeah, earnings are coming up on bull. So, you've got to make that choice. Are we going to hold it? Are you going to hold it through earnings or not? Yeah, that might be a toughie for someone to make a decision on that. I might have to have a cookie to think about that one. Let's see. Take a look at NEM. That's coming up on my scan here. NEM is moving up. Okay. Hey, let's call this a morning. I want to thank everybody. Thanks for joining me so doggone early in the morning. I do appreciate it. Okay. So now let's check out. Let's get some. Let's go look for some charts. That's what I'm going to be doing. Remember, for those that aren't members, you're welcome to become a member. You're welcome to give us a try just for 30 days. All trades I trade are posted in the app, and you don't have to be in the room to receive those alerts. You could be playing golf, fishing, baseball, whatever you want to do, and you'll receive the alert on the app there. So anyway, thank you, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to everybody. And we'll see the members. I used to say at the bottom of the hour. I'll see members in a little bit when the market opens. All righty, you guys take care. Thanks, everybody.